us.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poisons, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what up? It's Two Fat Guys Pull List. What up, YouTube? And it is episode 60 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. And, I don't think really anything special has happened since last week. I can't think of anything.
I can't think of a single thing that.
Can you think of anything?
To the world,
Exactly. I don't think anything special happened to our channel at all, outside of just more viewership. I don't think we have any announcements today. Chat, let us know if we're missing anything. I'll go through our normal announcements. We've got our Two Fat Guys Pool List mystery pool, which is with Collected, and that's our comic book shop. So if you ever looking for an LCS, go to brainycomics.com, and our guy Ron, the shop's owner, will hook you up. That's about it for announcements.
Except if you're thinking of robbing him, don't do it, because he will chase your ass down and tackle you.
Yes, he will. He will kick your ass.
Because he literally had to do that this week, and I feel so bad for him.
That's fucking insane. It's time to move that shop, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's Calvin, that's right. 500 subscribers. You're correct. We hit 500. Actually, we're at 505 as of this video right now.
Damn.
Yep. Thank you, Calvin. We appreciate the congrats. And I guess because we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to have to give away this Wolverine 9.4 number 1 CGC graded.
Oh, I'm so tired of seeing this thing.
Right? Well, get ready, because the next one's going to be forever. But, I guess we're going to give this bad boy away. Hate to see it go. Love to see the intro go, though, because I know everybody else is sick of seeing that thing. So this week, our comic book haul video, you will see a new intro talking about the next book we're going to give away, but we'll get into that, right? So we might as well just, I guess we should announce the winner, right?
Do it.
Okay, so we went through our subscribers, we put it through a generator, and the winner is...
I don't even know.
Fallen Angel.
Oh,
is the 500 sub milestone giveaway winner.
Nice.
He is one of our subscribers. He commented on also the video, the 1,000 sub milestone giveaway video. So we pulled from all over, pulled from that video. We pulled from our subscriber base. So it's kind of like a little bit of a right there. That's what we got rather than the winner. So Fallen Angel, you won. We will hit you up. Say what?
I said congrats.
Oh, gotcha. Anyway, we will be reaching out to you. If you're watching this video, Fallen, go ahead and send us an email at twofatguyspoollist or twofatguyspoollist@gmail.com and hit us up with your address so we can get it out to you. But we will also make contact with you as well, let you know you won, so we won't leave you hanging. And we will get this slab shipped out to you. And also, I don't know, Patty and Patty, Quiku, and
Gentry.
who else did we? Gentry. We sent y'all's. We sent out your slabs that y'all won, so they should be coming soon.
I have confirmation that Gentry's has been received. So.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So
obviously
Patty,
the overseas ones are going to take longer. But.
Yeah, Patty and Quiku might take a little longer, but hey, they're coming. So anyway, we gave away this bad boy. We'll be shipping it off to Fallen once we get a hold of him. And I guess so the next piece of business we take care of before we get into the main show is we're going to talk about what our 1,000 milestone giveaway is. And Nate, I know you don't want me to talk about this, but
you know what? See you guys later. Can't show my face during this.
Okay, well then I'll talk about it. So our next and our final giveaway to get to 1,000, and then as we get, I think we're going to continue to do giveaways as we go. We want to take care of y'all for watching us. But once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be giving away this CBCS graded 9.8 Amazing Spider-Man #4 First Appearance of Silk. So this is the next slab that we will be giving away, since we just gave away our Wolverine our Wolverine 9.4. So make sure,
oh my god,
if you're not already subscribed, subscribe, comment on that subscribe video, on that 1,000 sub video that we put out, and we will be giving away this bad boy hopefully fairly soon. And then we've also talked about doing some other giveaways in between getting to 1,000. We're still thinking about it. We've kind of thrown up there potentially giving away the exclusive hardcover for Something's Killing the Children Volume 1. Thinking about that. And then we've got some stuff in our collection that we might want to give away. We've got some omnibus, we've got some trades. We're gonna figure it out. So I think we're not gonna just spread it out to 1,000. I think we'll try to sprinkle in, a 650, a 650, 800. We'll figure it out. But anyway, congratulations again, Fallen Angel, for winning the Wolverine 9.4. And like I said, our new intro will be talking about our 9.8 CBCS graded Amazing Spider-Man #4 First Appearance of Silk. So subscribe. Let's do it, guys. We're going to get it. We're going to get to 1,000. Will we get to 1,000 before the end of the year? We'll see. I would like to, but we'll see. Anyway, let's kick off the show. We're going to start off with, as we always do, with our X-Books, and that is X-Men, issue #3 from the great Gary Jerry. That's how I'm just going to say it now. I'm not going to say it any other way but that way.
Hey, Jerry.
So, let's just get this out of the way. Pepe Larraz is a fucking master at what he does. The artwork in this book is absolutely fantastic. We get crazy awesome action panels. The expressions are just insane. I will even say Pepe is kind of digging into, or not digging in, I don't want to say digging into. He's starting to play a little bit with like anime style. Like there's some expressions in here where we see like a blank face. It's more chibi, more anime, which I totally dig. I think I love that. I absolutely love that.
I feel like I've always felt like that was a hallmark of his style.
Really? I guess I just haven't paid as much attention, but I feel like it's really present in this issue. I think there's one part where, we'll get into it.
You can definitely tell he's influenced by anime style or like manga style art. For sure. Like the action poses and just the facial expressions, they're all great. But I mean, just off the bat, this cover is amazing as well. Anyway, so High Evolutionary shows up and he has an ultimatum for the X-Men. He has basically seized the opportunity via the climate crisis of the Earth, and he's giving essentially the mutants an out and letting them die peacefully. And when I say letting them, he's talking about humanity. And so he wants to basically release this virus onto Earth in order to cleanse the Earth of humans. But it seems like the mutants, I guess, would survive. I'm not quite sure how that kind of plays. It was basically just killing all the humans so that the mutants could rule Earth as well. They're like, well, you got Mars already, so might as well just get Earth too. Right. So, a battle ensues. The X-Men aren't going to let that happen. And it's pretty damn epic. Like, I genuinely like the design of the High Evolutionary. So when he showed up, I was like, this is dope. I like the character, really. I want more High Evolutionary. Like, I kind of hope he's the next Kang. I hope we get more of him later and really kind of dive deeper into the High Evolutionary. But overall, this issue is fantastic. They fight High Evolutionary and his, wicked experiments, sharks, elephants, dinosaurs, gorillas, whatever you want to call it. And then, they're getting ready. He's basically going to release this virus, and I believe it's who is it? I forget his name. The guy that can mimic powers.
Damn it. Why'd you do that?
It's like Genesis, or no, it's not Genesis. It's
just keep going and I'll tell you. Anyway,
he comes up with an ultimatum, and this is the only part of the book that I don't quite understand it. Sync. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but High Evolutionary never really said, "Hey, give me mutant DNA and I'll leave." Right? Like that never happened, right?
No, it's kind of what he was after, right?
Was he? I just don't remember him stating why he was technically there outside of releasing this virus onto.
Well, I mean, he's the High Evolutionary, right? Like he's known for wanting that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Maybe it's implied. Maybe it was implied that I didn't even. I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, totally.
I mean, no, I think it makes sense, but I guess I was waiting for the book to tell me this is why he's here, and I guess I'm just such a novice reader.
There's literally a panel where it says, I will withdraw my gift. Humanity will simply have to suffer, and I will forgive the aggression visited upon my host in return for his blood.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, so Sync sees this, is told this, and he gives the Evolutionary his blood, a drop of blood, via the blade of Wolverine, which was really fucking cool. So this was I thought it was really fun. It's I think it's gonna bite him in the ass. Even Sync is like, did we fuck up? And Cyclops is like, yeah, we probably did, but we'll figure it out. Like that's literally what Cyclops says. And so they after the Evolutionary leaves, they party. We get another scene of residents asking to have a meal with the X-Men, which I really like, and I feel like that's becoming more of a we're gonna get more and more of that. And I'm sure that Gary Jerry will somehow follow up with the reason why he's doing that, and that's great. I love it. But then the last bit, the last part of the book is I really feel like is confirming my fears of what Inferno is about to tell us this week and this coming week, which is Krakoa is going down. It's going in flames. Resurrection Protocol is gone, and this is it. In 2022, after Inferno, X-Men will be completely different. It will be void. Yeah, I feel like it will be void of Hickman. I think Hickman's X run is about to be completely erased. I really do feel that way, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do, but I just think with what happens at the end of this book, it's very clear to me that Marvel's like, we're getting ready for these guys to be in the movies. We need a complete reset, and Resurrection makes no sense, and Hickman's run makes no sense for casual readers, and we just need to have good old X-Men back, and that's my thought. And I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but it just feels that way. So the writer that we met in the first issue of Dugan's run essentially has been confirmed of Resurrection, and he sees the autopsy, a very fresh autopsy of Cyclops when they went to the Mother Mold base with Orcus, and they blew it up. So I just, we'll know very soon this week with Inferno issue 1 coming out, and we will have a very, not necessarily the entire picture, but we're going to get a good chunk. We're going to get a quarter of it, right? We're going to get a quarter of the vision of Hickman and how he's going to end this. And I just don't think it's going to end with Krakoa existing. I just think it's over.
Intact.
So.
Damn.
That's my thought.
I think I'm in denial, is what it is.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, if they do it, then yeah, it's not okay.
I know. But, we can't let that. Are we gonna let Hickman's run ending and completely being wiped destroy this channel?
Destroy the ability for us to review X titles at the beginning of the week every week because
all right, well then we'll
X titles.
okay, well we'll just shift it into the middle and only have one instead of
Right.
2 to 3. But it remains to be seen. I hope I'm wrong, and I think hopefully I am wrong. But I just got this gut feeling that it's over, dude. I really do. I think we've been in this little space, and I'm not trying to. What's the best word? I'm not trying to downplay readers. I feel like Hickman's run is complex. Hickman's run is, it's crazy, it's a lot, and there's a lot of building, and I feel like we didn't even get the build, to be honest. Like, we were a quarter of the way through it, and it's over, and it's severely disappointing. But either way, I think Gary Jerry is doing a great job here. It's a good run. It's easy to read, and then on top of that, Pepe on here. I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna feel really bad when he leaves, like when in 3 arcs from now, when they're like, and Pepe's gonna be drawing, I don't know, Namor. I'm like, what? Anyway, that's X-Men 3. It's a good shot. It's a good time. You should check it out. All right, our last X title for the night is X-Men: The Onslaught Revelations. I'm 50-50 on this book. I told you when I read it, I thought my interpretation. I like my interpretation of the book.
Okay.
But I feel like this is another thing that was written. Yeah, I just think it was another like book to be written to somehow figure out a way to slam the door on Hickman's run.
Oh, okay.
Because when we got this book, we were both like, this is going to be the explanation for mutant religion. This is going to be the explanation of the Tower and Hoxpox. And right now it's like, nope, it's ending in a completely different direction. Mm-hmm. And I think it happened abruptly in the middle of the run while Spurrier was writing it, and Marvel was like, you need to flip this, and this is going to be mutant cops. Here we go. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think you're right too. That's probably what ended up happening. So, I mean, the issue in itself, I think, is pretty good. I like the way that they handled the mystery of it all and Onslaught himself.
Yeah.
It was a very wordy issue, but I didn't feel like it was overly heavy. That's just kind of Cy Spurrier's style, though. He's English, so he's a little verbose.
Yeah, I think compared to other issues in our pools this week that were wordy, I was not anticipating, but just like eager to get to the next page. So that's not, I think. Yeah,
no, it flowed very well. And plus that 1-page spread of Onslaught quickly taking over Magneto and Professor again.
Yeah,
the new version of Onslaught, that was pretty cool. Even though it literally only lasts for 3 pages.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we find out that essentially what the religion is called is the Spark, and this is what is going to essentially help the minds and spirits of Krakoa, and I assume Nightcrawler is going to lead it. We get an obvious preview to, like Jim said, the Space Cops or Krakoan Cops, the next book in the very back.
Yeah. So I don't know if you read or if you watched Comic Book Herald's videos this week. He's very interested in it. This idea of these it's not Legionnaires. It's spelled completely. It's spelled differently so that it doesn't coincide with a DC concept called the Legionnaires. But when I read it and I told you, I was like, okay, you were like, they're cops. I'm like, I don't know if they're cops, more as they may be like spiritual mutant cops. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird. But what he talked about, which I didn't even notice again because I'm not familiar with, I don't have the catalog that he does of knowledge of X-Men. So that spread that we see of the new team, one of the characters is Blindfold or someone. It's a precog. It's a precog mutant who is Legionnaire's. I believe is Legion, one of Legion's girlfriends or like partners.
Got it.
And so he's like, what that tells me is if Inferno does keep things somewhat intact, but does allow precogged mutants, then there's a chance that Moira, they save it, everything doesn't burn down, and now precog mutants are going to be able to be resurrected, and they can take what they know and try to fix it.
Got it.
We'll see. So there is some hope potentially. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's get to the comments. On the flip side, Hickman provided Feige and the team a lot of material for the next phase, which could open Krakoa for a Disney Plus show. Hey, I'm for it. I'm about it. That'd be dope. We can only hope that the movies going forward do the X-Men interesting and with good character lineup, so when they do have the movies, the comics don't become riddled with bad movies. I gotcha. And the comics don't adapt the team based on the movies. Sometimes making characters more like the movies doesn't help bring movie goers to the comics, but I could be wrong. I see that. I just think, again, we're kind of in that stage right now with Kang, right? Like we're getting some pretty deep concepts with Kang, but overall we're getting character development and character explanation for people that don't know who Kang is. Mm-hmm. Right, and I think we're about to do that with the X-Men. I really do. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we do that with Fantastic Four here soon. Like Dan Slott gets taken off the run, and then it's like new Fantastic Four just in time for the movies. Like I think it's coming. Yeah, I agree. But again, as a standalone issue, I did like this book. I think it was really cool to kind of do the character dive for Cortez and I forget the name of the mutant with the gravity powers.
Well, it was Lost. I think she starts going by a different name.
And then there was another mutant that was a rockin' mutant, the dust one, the one that can control dust.
Yeah. And
she gets a new name too via Legion. So I don't think Mars is going anywhere. I don't think so, because I think Legion's going to use a lot of those mutants. I think that's where we're going to kind of build more of these new characters. So, fingers crossed, but this issue did have a little bit of ray of hope. And then the other thing we get at the end of that book is it looks like Juggernaut is making an appearance, which he is not a mutant. So we'll see, guys. I just don't know where we're going. We'll get some answers hopefully this week with the first issue of Inferno. But that is our synopsis for our X books this week. Kind of sloppy, but they were kind of sloppy.
Yep.
Fantastic Four, Dan Slott. This was a good issue. Again, you're more privy to the issues prior. His original beginning part of the run.
Yeah.
But this felt wholesome. This felt like we were going in a direction, and we weren't trying to connect events and like it just felt whole.
Yeah. Yeah, we're obviously dealing with the ramifications of Doom's fake wedding and him overcharging Johnny's powers. But yeah, I think this was an episode. This was an issue that was fully focused on some of the more nuanced issues that Dan Slott has been introducing throughout the book.
Yeah.
What I found most interesting was, even though it wasn't a ton, Skye's involvement in this book. Skye has been probably one of my favorite parts of this book since she was introduced back in issue 18, 19, 20, something around there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like she's been underutilized for such a strong character. But at the same time, there's already 6, 7 main characters in Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. Then they introduce the kiddos and Skye, and so it's hard to keep them all on the same page. But I feel like in this issue we did really well because we get to see the kids on Yancey Street for a little bit. They run into Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. But yeah, this issue mainly just deals with trying to fix Johnny, which they are not able to do, and also seeing that because of the bands that Skye and Johnny share, when he was overcharged, she was overcharged as well. And she has been like hiding out in her separate apartment in the dark because she's gone like full whatever the hell her race is called, Super Saiyan mode. Where she's like super beefy and her eyes are all black and yellow and her hands have turned into like eagle talons and shit. It's pretty gnarly. But it seems like this issue is really showing us that, I don't know, the Sky Johnny relationship might be done.
I hope not.
I hope not too, but so the only way that those bands can come off is if the other person takes them off, and she breaks his off immediately, like burns the shit out of her hands just reaching in to pull his out. And break it, and then that's the way that this issue ends, is he, takes hers off as well, and he's just sitting there, kind of mourning the loss while trying to, figure out how he's going to deal with just being constantly on fire.
Being a fucking son. The best part about this issue outside of that was Ben, or who was it? It was, I think it might have been his sister, was like, oh, he's taking it like a champ. Like, or no, it was Ben. Ben was like, he's taking it like a champ. He's not even crying. And Mr. Fantastic's like, yeah, no, it's because he's constantly on fire. He can't cry. Like, he's not allowed to cry.
His tears vaporize before they come out of his eyes or some shit like that.
Dude.
I found it really interesting that they were able to do a little juxtaposition where Johnny was very much like, I'm a freak, I'm a monster, no one can be around me, blah, 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 and you don't understand. And Ben is like, the fuck? The fuck I don't understand? Like, I've been living like this forever. Like, you finally are starting to feel how I kind of feel. Like, I can obviously sympathize with you. Yeah. I thought that was an interesting little reversal there.
No, overall, this issue was really good, and I felt like the pacing of it, I think, was the best part of it. Like, it was strong. It kept me motivated to read. It had me enticed, and then it had the emotional bits of it. So I think it did a really good job, and I think I'm interested to see where we go. I know also, I think, no, we don't have, wasn't RB Silva on art for a while? Like, he's gone now. Like, he's not doing art on Fantastic Four anymore.
He hasn't been like regularly for like 4 or 5 issues. I don't know why though.
I don't like that.
I think he was still supposed to be, but maybe not.
No, I think I've looked at the solicitations. I think he's done. I think he's moving either onto a new book or they're not using him anymore. So that's not cool. Anyway, I mean, he's in Inferno. He's got an issue in Inferno. I think issue 3 is RB Silva. So maybe that's why. Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got Last Annihilation, Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 18, the final issue of Al Ewing's Guardians run. And this one sneaked up on us because we weren't paying attention to solicitations, and it's over. It is a done deal. Spoilers: Dormammu gets he loses. I'm so upset with this issue. I'm just gonna kind of fast forward and just rant about the fact that this is over. And the reason why I'm so upset is because when this revamp that Ewing was doing with this new team that was fucking huge, it just felt like, holy yes, this is it. We're going. We're making moves, and then it's just over. It's just done. And I mean I guess it makes sense because he has Sword and he has Venom, which he's co-writing with Ram. I guess. But I'm just trying.
They want Ewing to be the main focal point of Guardians of the Galaxy, of Cosmic Marvel, and he's doing a good job of it. Why would you not leave him on, obviously the most cosmic book that is in the current lineup of all of Marvel?
Dude, I don't know.
The only thing I can think of is that they don't want any more Guardian stories right now until we get closer to the movie. Or something.
That's becoming a very outdated trope right now in our show.
Well,
which is,
at this point we're just speculating. I mean, we don't know that that's true, but
it makes sense.
Why else?
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Let the comics be the comics. I don't know.
Okay, good part of this book, though.
Go ahead.
my favorite part of this book was when they decide to shoot Dormammu with the big giant gun that they get from the side issues. So we get the actual gun from... Oh shit, what issue was that?
It was in Cable.
In Cable. And we get the bullet in a different one, or we get...
No, we get that in Cable too.
We get that in Cable too, okay. Anyway, Nova decides to... Let me see if I can get this on there. Nova decides to put himself in between the bullet and the... whatever you call that part, the igniter or whatever, and basically uses the Nova Force to double propel the bullet once it gets launched.
Yeah.
And they just like absolutely like one shot Dormammu. Like I'm pretty sure there's a line in here. Oh yeah. He says Peter says, "Amen, I love you guys. Now let's go one shot a giant space wizard."
And then Dormammu is like, "Stop, bullet. I command you." And nope, just the bullet just kept on coming through.
Just him right away.
So effectively, we lose Dormammu and Ego, Ego dies too, because that was the plant. His head was Ego. So both characters have been taken off the board in the Marvel 616. The other thing that happens in this book is it was all set up. The scroll wizard that converted Ego into Dormammu's head was in cahoots with Doom, and now Doom has the magic of Dormammu, and we will see him in the Reckoning War. Basically, because he's like, when I will need this power when there's a reckoning. I'm like, okay, we'll see you in the Reckoning War. So this entire, last Annihilation saga or whatever story was basically a big setup for Dan Slott's Reckoning War. I'm not mad about that, to be honest with you. That's fine. I think what I'm most frustrated with is that Ewing. It felt like Ewing was hitting his stride in Guardians. Like I felt like the first half was okay. We the hooks where we lost Star-Lord. We got into dive deeping in like Moondragon, and then we got Peter Quill, Richard Rider, yes. Yeah, with his space psychology or therapy, and then we got Peter Quill back, but he's like this fucking like shaman that can control the space elements with really funky fingernails, and it felt like we were going somewhere, and now it's just over. So I agree with you. I agree with your assessment. I think that Marvel's just kind of all right. We need to take a break with Guardians, and then it'll be back. In a year or so with Hickman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I bet it'll be Hickman, to be honest.
Well, he's got one more book, and then he's probably leaving Marvel again. He's probably
he might be gone now. He might be already gone. Yeah, like at the end of Inferno. We go back to Inferno. At the end of Inferno, it's going to be like, bye, I'm out. My love letter. This is my love letter to Marvel. Patty says, I really like this Guardians cover. No, it's a dope cover. I felt like Ewing's, second arc, I guess you could call it, or even third arc in this Guardians run. I felt like those covers were really strong. I mean, there were 3 connecting, and then they got pretty epic. So I also will say I feel like Dormammu was a little underused. I think we could have gotten more into the space magic of it all with Dormammu. I just think he was just kind of a prop, which is kind of disappointing because I felt like we could have dived deeper into what Dormammu could have been used for in this run. And I think that's also just me being upset at the fact that Ewing's run is over. And if you had told me that I'd be upset with Ewing's run being over, when we were still doing the gods, the Olympus gods, I would have called you crazy because I was so pissed with it. How many times was like, I'm done with this run, the whole damn time. And then this rebrand or this other arc came out and I was like, hell yeah, and now it's over. So let's see, Eric, what's up? He says Pepe Larraz is a true master. I adore his art and storyline so much. Team up with him on Dig Dug on point. Gotcha.
I agree. I agree.
All right,
I honestly
next.
wish that we could get just PP on all the books. Just clone him up 4 times. Him and Marte Gracia. Put him on every book.
I will not argue with that. I will. I will support cloning. All right, next up we've got Moon Knight issue number 3, the debut of Hunter's Moon in his outfit.
I'm going to say, if we were doing it Jaden style this week, this would be my Marvel pick of the week.
Okay.
I don't know why. I really enjoyed it. I think the cover set the mood for me. I really, really, really enjoy this cover. And honestly, I think what did it for me the most is the interiors. Like the interior art, I really enjoy. To me, it has this really nice blend of modern digital with like Moon Knight feels modern digital, but the background feels a little bit more like hand traditional. I don't know. I really enjoyed this issue. It wasn't like the plot was like amazingly spectacular or anything, but
I think that's what I was about to say. It was like the substance of the book was okay. I did like the I just liked Moon Knight kind of being like, who are you? Stop acting like you're hot shit. I am the shit. Do not fuck with me, please. That's basically this issue. And this whole build up, again, it is technically I guess a key because it's the first appearance of Hunter's Moon in his full
regalia.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, the substance of the issue isn't really heavy, and that's okay. But I will agree with you with the artwork. The artwork is fucking on point. The colors are on point. And I'm
sorry. I got it.
No, you're good. You're good. I will say that the tone that is set by McKay in this book, I guess the personality of Moon Knight is really shining through in this book. I feel like as we continue on in this Moon Knight run by McKay, the personality of Moon Knight is really shining. And for me personally, who's a novice reader to Moon Knight, that helps out a lot. And so I feel like McKay's making it very easy to be relatable with someone who has, multiple personalities, who has a mental disorder. And it's very approachable in this book. And so with a character who has a lot of baggage, McKay is writing it, I think, really well, where it's a super approachable character, whereas Moon Knight has shown up in some of our other books, and I'm kind of like, I don't know enough about Moon Knight to really have a grasp on the character, and I feel like in this run specifically, McKay's doing a really good job. He's doing a fantastic job of kind of balancing the two, balancing novice readers and people who know who Moon Knight is, as a real deep dive of a character. And I would really love to know y'all if y'all have any, what y'all think about the run. Is it too boring? Is it too vanilla? Or is it just kind of on pace? I don't know. Patty says, I haven't been disappointed with the art in Moon Knight at all. Just wondering, so far enjoying it. How it's written. Yes, exactly. So that kind of answers my question, Patty. Sorry, I totally miffed that. Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there, Patty. Like, the artwork is fantastic. I think the writing is done so well that I think a novice reader and a pretty knowledgeable, well-read Moon Knight reader can pick this up and enjoy it. And I think we're adding to the mythos of Moon Knight in this book, which is great. And I think this is a perfect... I think McKay is setting a good tone for hopefully the show, which is, in production as we speak. And I know a lot of everything that we've been talking about tonight has been kind of tied to either cinematic or Disney Plus. And really that's just what that's what we're kind of looking forward to. We want to see that interpretation on the screen come true. And I feel like Disney's been hitting it out of the park lately. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if I'm going to side note on this, talking about interpretation. Did y'all, I'm almost certain y'all have seen the announcement for the Mario movie and who's voicing the characters. I think the most backlash I've ever seen something like this for a movie was Sonic. When they first debuted that first trailer, and Sonic it looked absolutely horrific, and so now people are just losing their shit on the voice acting for Mario. So talk about another, I guess, group or a what's the word I'm looking for? Entity that's kind of missing the mark. Patty says the first trade I ever picked up was volume of Moon Knight cuts his face off. His villain who can't remember the name of for the life of me, but this has been just as good in my opinion. Don't go there, Jim. Okay, I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. It's bad though. Like it's I don't know, man. Like I haven't even heard. Has Pratt? I thought Pratt. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I read somewhere that Pratt actually did like an interpretation of Mario, and people are like losing their shit right now. But says my buddy is pissed about the whole Mario cast, and he's only interested in seeing Seth as a stoner DK. That sounds like fun. Don't get me wrong. That sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, that is Moon Knight issue 3. Again, I think it's a solid issue. I'm glad I'm picking it up. I'll say that. I was a little worried that I was going to be bogged down with the mythos, not knowing the mythos of Moon Knight. And I feel like I've gotten a decent amount of information prior to the run starting with Jason Aaron's Avengers run with his whole connection to Khonshu and being the fist of Khonshu. And then now, 3 issues in, McKay has done a superb job of, letting the new readers go down the rabbit hole of Moon Knight and not the way he writes it, you don't feel lost. And I'm sure a seasoned Moon Knight reader is reading this and going, "Oh yeah, I knew about that," but it's nice to catch up on it. So I think he's doing a great job. It's a fantastic run, and I'm looking forward to issue 4. I'm looking forward to the next couple of issues. I think issue 4 we start a new arc, so we'll have to wait and see where we go from there. But overall, super fun, super fun run. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for Nate to get to Batman because I want to know what he thinks about it. Because we are going in full hyperdrive for Batman. But I might as well ask everybody that's here, what did you pick up last week? What's your pick of the week? What did you enjoy the most? What did you enjoy the least? What was on the bottom of your pull list? I'd love to know. Let's fill up the chat with our picks of the weeks and our least desirable picks of the week. How about that? Patty, a Donkey Kong I can relate to. Kind of like Scarecrow and Titans. Just take the stoner route. Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I can relate with what Nate's doing right now. My youngest would not go to sleep before the show, and I'm pretty sure he's teething, so we had to help him out with that, which is not fun, but gotta do what you gotta do, right? Mike says Philadelphia, penultimate of the current arc. Cool. I am not currently reading that. I've heard a lot of things about that. Our comic book shop owner, Ron, talks about Philadelphia a lot. So I think I'll just have to read that in trade, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kill the poll. Looks like we're 50-50 right now, and if you're going to pick up Hickman's Inferno this week, so interesting to see that. Cool. I wonder if this will work. Nope, it does not. So we had 12 votes, 50% yes, so 6 yes and 6 no. Interesting. I really dig these polls. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I hope we get to more integrated stuff as as streaming becomes a bigger and more prominent thing on YouTube. I'm sure we will continue to get more goodies as we go.
All right.
Moon Knight, awesome, Rat.
Yep, Moon Knight was great. I like the story. I think it's one of the best books creating its own vibe right now. I feel like immediately immersed when I opened the book. That's why it was my Marvel pick of the week.
Awesome. Hey, Gentry, what's up? This is good. I'm a good ways out from my LCS, so I only go the first-ish times of the month. But I'm anticipating Batman will be my pick, though, because what else would it be? LOL. Gotcha. And Gentry, I don't know if you got our email. We sent you, or your package should be coming soon. Or no, I think you got it, right? You told me Gentry may have received it.
Should have. It said yesterday at 12:48 that it was on the front page.
Okay, well, cool. So, Gentry, check your front porch. Your slab might be there. Mike says, Department of Truth is the conspiracy/mystery side of X-Files. Philadelphia is more action/social side. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like I need to get into that. All right, let's jump into our DCs, shall we? Next, the first DC book we have is Batman Fear State, issue 113. Welcome to your death, Batman.
Dramatic.
Right off the bat, Jimenez is...
I get it. Batman.
Jimenez's art is... This is their crown jewel over here on DC.
No doubt.
Fantastic. I will say this issue was good, but I feel like we are just kind of repeating what we already learned in Alpha outside of the revelation. Because what we get in this book is basically Batman and Ghost Hunter going over what the Fear State is, which we already kind of got as readers in the Alpha. Yeah. But the revelation in this book is that Ghost Hunter or Ghost Maker went to college with Scarecrow, and he was actually told him, or Ghostmaker learned of the plot or of the theory of Fear State. So we have another person that understands the base knowledge of what Scarecrow is trying to accomplish in this book, or in this plan that he's devised. I think I told you this. The part of this book that kind of frustrated me was when Batman talks to the new commissioner and literally explains to him all the problems and everything and how we're gonna solve it, and it felt so fucking rushed. And that was my one fear for this book, is that we were gonna just fly to 117 because Tynion wants nothing to do with DC.
See, I feel much better about it, and I can say that because I feel like I've seen or I've read through a Tynion event before on Batman, and I could see how the first two issues of Joker War very much felt like the first two issues here at Fear State.
Okay.
Where it feels like it's set up, and when we're reading it right now, it's like, okay, yes, I know. Okay, yes, I know. But I think when collected and read as an overall story, I don't think it'll feel that way. I think it'll be much more cohesive.
Okay. Well, then I will trust you on that. I mean, I'm not saying it was
past experience.
I'm not saying the writing is bad. It's good. I just feel like there are parts of it that feel very rushed. So I'm hoping that we will get some clarity on that. And I just want the last issues of his Batman run to be epic and grandiose and just a massive, awesome send-off. So we'll just have to see what happens. Ginger says, yeah, it came in. I meant to send y'all an email letting you know it did, but yeah, no, you're good. You're good to go.
Yeah, you're good, man. Glad you got it.
Midterms are taking 90% of my brain space. Hey, I get that.
That's the right stuff to be taking up.
Thank you. Yeah, we do not need to be taking up a majority of your brain space. Again, and the other thing that this is making me just feel sad about is, like, I want these characters that Tynion has made to continue on, but again, I guess it won't be the same because it won't be Tynion writing them. So how can you trust a writer to write them correctly?
I don't know.
That sounds very snooty.
It does, but I know what you mean, and I don't think that we will be having these characters around for a while.
Correct.
It doesn't seem like that is the angle that Joshua Williamson is taking us in the slightest bit. I was going to say I do have hope he'll revisit them again, but actually I don't think I do have hope of that.
I just need... I want a Ghostmaker book, like a 7-issue mini. Like, I just want it.
It is crazy the amount of characters that Tynion has made in this pretty short run over these past couple of years. that I feel like, and again, could be easily confirmation bias, and I feel like people like Gentry or Jaden or Mike that have been readers for a long time can easily correct us, but these feel like characters that have really good lasting effect, and I don't know if that is something we've had for a while in a Batman title. It's like, I think Signal was one of the last ones that was introduced in Tom King's run, and he hasn't really had a lot of staying power, but I don't know if that's because Tynion just wasn't interested in picking him up. Thank God the Batgirls are getting their own book at the end of the year, because it feels like they've been underutilized as well.
Yeah, and I meant to talk about that. I think we need to do that in DC solicitations whenever we do that video of like titles that I'm somewhat excited for and ready to kind of shuffle my DC titles around anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them, and then the other one that is kind of piquing my interest, but I'm still kind of on the fence on, is the Robins. But I don't know if I'm going to pick that one up or not. But the Batgirl one for sure, and we'll talk about more of that when we get to Nightwing. But overall, it was a good issue. I thought it was fun. Pei says, I feel like Clown Hunter could be used as sort of a sidekick to Red Hood, but unlikely. Yeah,
it is unlikely, but I think that would be so cool. Mm-hmm. I really, really enjoyed their little interaction in the Clown Hunter Secret Files issue, where basically Red Hood says that. He's like, hey, let me train you. Like, he's like, me and you, like, we were in the same boat with, like, being with Batman in some ways and being against him in other ways, not agreeing with the killing and stuff like that. So I think that'd be great. And by the way, probably my favorite part of this issue was the very small Clown Hunter backup that was drawn by Jason Howard. Still a lot of fun, and it drew on some recent continuity of Clown Hunter and like us finding out about his parents and them getting his fear being realized that they were getting Jokerized again and all this other stuff. I thought it was a good little backup.
We need more Daniel Warren Johnson, and we need more Jason Howard.
I agree.
We just need more. Just give me more. So That's Batman Fair State. Definitely check it out. It's going to be coming at us quick. I think after next week we get another issue. It's every other week we're getting an issue. We are flying to 117. All right. Next up, we have Batman Secret Files Miracle Molly, Issue 1, a one-off. Are we in agreement? Okay. And it's coming through my fucking speakers. God damn it. Anyway, that's our pick of the week. This is our pick of the week, Miracle Molly, Issue 1. This was a fantastic issue. I am absolutely in love with Miracle Molly as a character, and we just get the history of how she became Miracle Molly.
Yep.
And I think again, we get a very well thought out, well planned out issue via Tynion, really just explaining this new character. Are there Secret Files? Is there a Secret Files character or issue for Ghostmaker?
I think so.
I need to find it.
Let me double check.
I need to read it. Anyway, this issue was fantastic. The artwork in it was great. Yep, Mike, you're spot on. And I just liked how the writing influenced the artwork and how the artwork influenced the writing. And you can I know that I can't really explain it, but it's just the visuals on this were great. The alter ego of Miracle Molly being in, the character who becomes her. Just in those little details like that in this book were fantastic. And I told you this before we started the show. I really do feel like this is another concept where Tynion is kind of using his experiences in life and how he deals with himself, with his mental health, with his sexuality, I feel like is in this book, to be absolutely honest. And I know we never will be able to, but I would love to interview him and just be like, just let me know. Just tell me.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I think that the very obvious, hey, look at the intellectual property I've created, and then the big bad boss saying, actually, no, you weren't looking at your contract, that's ours now, and taking it away.
Yeah.
I don't think that is, I don't think that you could possibly not relate that to DC in some way.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think he's doing some kind of giant critique where he thinks that he's, I don't know, deserves Batman or something. But overall, we've seen it recently, especially with these new shows coming out and stuff, where a lot of these creators are creating new characters in Marvel and or DC and are making it to the big screen, and they're getting like a $5,000 bonus for it. Like Ed Brubaker basically got a thumbs up for Winter Soldier, and you see how big like that. I mean, that has literally made Marvel and Disney hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
Between the movies and the TV shows and everything else.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, there's just a lot of underlining tones in this book for Tynion, and I love it. And maybe we're making the assumption, maybe we're wrong, maybe we're right. Who knows? But overall, this issue was fantastic. Artwork on point, writing on point. I want more Miracle Molly. I know we're not going to get her. I know she's probably gone after 117. God damn it. I love this character. I need more of it.
Hey, Patty says never say never.
I know, but it's just, I need more. I'm so fucking frustrated that he's leaving. And that's a short synopsis on it. And I highly recommend it. And if you're not into these characters, then obviously don't read it. But I think it's a worthwhile read. It's a really good issue. I was not expecting, when I looked at my pulls this week, I was like, yep, that's going to be my pick of the week. I had no clue, but I wasn't pegging this one to be my pick of the week.
No, I wasn't either. And I think also, not only is this a great character analysis for Miracle Molly, but I think this is a really good analysis for the Unsanity Project as a whole. I would say that it might be the one thing Tynion's done a little bit poorly is really driving home the plot and the point, and the drive of the Unsanity Project has been a little bit muddled. Yeah. And I think this makes it very, very clear what exactly their intentions are.
I would agree. All right, next up we've got Nightwing, Fear State issue 84. This is a classic. I have an event going on. My arc that I literally just finished, and here's a nice, clean tie-in into this event. If I had one word to describe this issue, there's one moment in this book that completely defines this issue, outside of what happens at the end, excluding what happens at the end.
Okay.
Is heartwarming.
Yes, for sure.
Like, oh my god, like I almost cried.
Okay, I didn't do that, but
you're right. So Nightwing is called to Gotham to help Batman, but he's called under false pretenses because Oracle, who is corrupt, calls all the Bat family to come to Gotham and basically tries to murder them. Nighthawk gets out of it via Batman showing up and saving his ass, and they do their classic, back-to-back flap, flap, whoop, bam, zoom, that, which was really cool. The illustration of the hitting, with the sounds. And then in this battle, in this fight, when it ends, there's just this heartwarming, very stoic from Batman saying, why did you didn't have to come save me, like I can take care of myself. He's like, no one's gonna kill my son, or something like that. I can't remember the exact line, but Batman just is not an emotional person, or at least not right. What you can tell, he's more of just a very stoic person. And so when he dropped that line, I was like, that's fucking dope, dude. Like, daddy.
Daddy. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously that part was heartwarming. I would say that even though this is a tie-in issue of sorts, or completely, I mean, that's not of sorts. It completely is a tie-in issue. I think Tom Taylor is a badass and totally can give you more of exactly what he's been giving us. Some heartwarming, some feel-good, some deep character analysis or character appreciation, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but connection. That's what I'm trying to say. Connection to your characters, and we get that here too. Even with a tie-in, even with I'm sure they're like, hey, Tom, don't forget Fear State, and he's like, ah, shit, yeah, okay.
But I think he did a good job. I think he did something that a lot of writers, either at Marvel or DC, don't do well enough job when it comes to tie-ins. I feel like a lot of writers in comics kind of see tie-ins and go, God damn it, I got to do a tie-in, and I get that. You're interrupting your run, right? To sell more comics. And I felt like Tom did a great job of
setting the same tone that Tynion is setting within his Fear State run. So it felt like a Tynion book, but it also had Tom Taylor, all of his styles and his like you're saying.
I feel like one thing I enjoyed about this issue too is our guest artist did a pretty good job of sticking to the style of our everyday artist. Yeah. And this issue really made me feel the Magistrate, like how present they were in Gotham City.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because when I'm reading a Batman book, like they're so focal that I don't really pay attention. It's like, oh yeah, totally. There's robots and big armed men walking down whatever drones, but like here I see it with Nightwing, and I'm like, oh shit, man, that really stands out. So I think this sort of just contributes to the overall feeling of where we're at in Fear State.
Gotcha. Let me ask this question to our viewers, mainly Patty, or any heavy DC viewers who are more knowledgeable than I. Is there, in Three Jokers, the love interest between Nightwing and Batgirl was pretty prevalent, right? Like it was heavy in that book. And then in Death Metal, it was kind of played on again. And I felt like I had a little bit of vibe in this book that we're kind of like dancing around this idea that there's, it's been kind of present in Taylor's Nightwing for sure. Like they've been.
She stays at his apartment in like the first
right,
issue.
but we still haven't gotten like confirmation that they're back together, right? And so, is that something people like in Nightwing or in the Bat family? Like, do we enjoy that, or is that kind of
it's
annoying?
I mean, I know you're asking them, and I want to hear what their opinions are too. But from what I understand, and someone who hasn't formed an opinion because I haven't been reading long enough, there's I think it's a pretty controversial thing because it's a constant like love triangle going on between him and Babs and him and one of the Titans, and I don't know if it's Stargirl or Raven or I don't remember, but like apparently, or Diana maybe. I think he was engaged or even married to one of the other Titans at one point.
Oh, Starfire. I know they've had a Starfire's been yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm just not gonna say here now. I am a low key in the closet. I like the rum.
You stand Dick and Babs?
I do, and I want to see more of it. Like, if we dive deep into like what I watch for anime, I fucking love romantic animes. I don't know why. I dig it. I'm about it. And so when I saw that kind of interaction, I was like, ooh, dude, I'm a stain. Like I stand it, like, or whatever you ship it, whatever you want to call it.
Ship it, yeah. Well, all the TikTok kids say.
But then you got Calvin Gentry and Mike, Team Starfire. I agree with that too. Like I want to see that too. So I like.
See, I don't even know Starfire.
Illuminati triangle, whatever you want to, that's. I'm down. I made a triangle. Love triangle.
Yeah, got it.
Anyway.
I actually very particularly want to know Jaden's input on this. So, Jaden
has been quiet. I don't know. Maybe,
If he's not here, he's going to
that or he's just so pissed. He's just like, God damn it. If I remember right, didn't Three Jokers have a weird red hood? Yes, it did. Yeah, Babs is all over the place. That's insane.
Three Jokers is one of those things that is canonically ambiguous. Like, at any point, they can consider it canon or not. They're just like, we're not going to fucking mess with it. It's just, it is what it is, and whatever writer decides is right or wrong at any point is fine.
All right, our last DC book for the night until honorable mentions is The Flash 774. This should have been in honorable mentions because this book was vanilla. It was, in between arcs. This is what Donny Cates does, where he has 2 issues of just like, bleh. That's what this is. I mean, you're right. You said in Comic Book Hall that the end of this book would hook me to get the next issue, and that's it. I will only be getting the next issue solely because of what happened at the end of the book, because I want to know what's up with this flaming spear from space.
Yep.
Other than that, this is a father-daughter dance gone wrong via nightmares. that's a. It was not. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just meh. And if this had been issue 1 of Flash the reboot, I would have been like, I'm out. I am not. I'm not reading this. So it just, I don't know. It just didn't feel as cohesive as the previous books.
Yeah.
So
Flash isn't completely dead, but I did officially pull it from my list, my pull list.
Yeah.
And so now it's going to be a weekly basis. Throw it in on last call if I decide to get it.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So we'll see how the next arc, if it's the actual beginning of the arc or if it's still this like middle of the road thing. Mm-hmm. But this was not a strong issue for me. So, All right, our last book of the night, Radiant Black.
Yeah.
Kyle Higgins. This was fantastic, and I'm going to let you do the review because I got to pee.
Oh, got it. So in this issue, we get a little bit more character development between I'm just going to call them Rangers because they look like Power Rangers and whatever. Between the Blue Ranger and our Purple Ranger, the one that teleports. They get teleported to Moscow and they kind of have a little heart-to-heart there for a little bit. While we have our Pink Ranger and Yellow Ranger, they've got the White Ranger, like the bad guy. They've got him trapped, and they think they've got the upper hand on him. Turns out he's just been recharging off of them the whole time. However his suit works is that he gets recharged based off of his proximity to these other suits. And he basically comes to and tells them, like, you guys have no idea what's going on, like, you totally fucked up. What does he say? You've marked your entire world and species for death, but you deserve more. So, Radiance, Mike, that's probably better. Yeah, it's calling them Radiance instead of Rangers. But yeah, there was a lot of action in this one too. So like once we get out of Moscow and the Purple and Blue Radiance join the rest of the team, they fight the bad Radiant, and it seems like it's going pretty well until the red girl takes sword through the chest twice, and you're like, oh shit! Like I thought she was gonna die for sure.
What I missed?
James, when our red, well, I was calling them Power Rangers, but Mike says that calling them Radiance is probably better, and I agree.
Radiant Power Rangers.
Radiant Power Rangers.
Radiant Rangers. There we go.
When the red Radiant took a sword through the chest, I was like, shit, she's dead. Like, she's dead.
No, yeah, that was. And you know what? When it happened, I was like, I wouldn't put it past Kyle to just off that character. Like,
no, I wouldn't either. But the real shocking thing was it looked like our good Radiants were on their heels, and then all of a sudden, Blue Radiant, our main one's blue, I guess. Black?
No, he's black.
Is he black? Okay.
It's called Radiant Black.
Oh, right. God. Oh, it's been a long day.
His main color is black, dude.
yes, I got it now.
Blue?
A big giant arm pops out of his chest, like
yeah.
A 2-page spread of an arm. Jumps out of his chest and proceeds to consume the guy and pull it right into his body. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? And everyone's like, what just happened? You could do that? And he's like, I didn't know.
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah. And as far as they are concerned, that's where we're pretty much left off, is like, what
Radiant Blue.
What is happening? What is going on? But then we get a one-page sort of like behind the scenes or off screen, and we see that there is some type of crashed storage container that looks like it's holding a bunch of outworldly weaponry. 'Cause it's got the radiant glow and stuff like that.
Like the digitized
look, but it all looks like guns and stuff. It doesn't look like there's any suits in there.
Yeah, I was a little confused at that part. I was like, should we know who these people are? This is clearly a hook. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was, outside of the last part, this almost was my pick of the week. Because it was just so fast paced, and I'm really I'm digging. Again, this is just like the Ewing situation. Beginning of Guardians, I was like, I want to drop it, and after the 4th or 5th issue, I was like, I don't know, man. And now I'm like fucking hooked. So it's good.
Yeah, it's a good series. I will say that sometimes I think Higgins gets a little too he knows what's going on, and so I think sometimes he loses a little bit of context, and we're like, wait, what exactly is happening here?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that in this issue, which I haven't felt since issue 5, where I was like, wait, did I miss something? Should I go back? I don't know. And I think it's it's because it's complex, and sometimes it's hard to realize if you're giving enough away or too much away, or so I would say that this issue did stumble a touch in that regard, but
yeah.
That's nitpicking. It was still a great issue, and the art was fantastic. So
100. All right, so that is going to do it for the main part of our show. We're going to get into honorable mentions. You've got some, right?
Just one.
Just one. So let me. You know what? Go ahead. No. You know what? I'll do a couple, and then we'll go to yours, and then I'll jump to my DCs. So
Jeez,
you didn't read.
How many do you have?
Well, I forgot to put one in the main part of the show, which is Death of Doctor Strange.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I wasn't going to edit on the fly, so we're going to talk about that. So I'll start with that.
We'll start with that. Yeah.
So we've got Death of Doctor Strange issue 1, which should have been in our main part of the show. I just forgot to put it in there. This overall was a fantastic issue, really fun. Let's see. How's a sentence to best describe this book? Doctor Strange is a badass bitch. He's just be prepared is his motto, and that is this book. I don't even want to give it away. I don't even want to give away the hook at the end of it. I did not know what to expect in this book, but it was absolutely fantastic, and it's just a fun. This is what I feel like a Marvel event should be. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say that, because I like Dark Ages too, and that's a completely different event. But it's just, I was a little concerned where this book was going to go. And after reading it, it was like, you got me, bro. You got me.
I agree. I think overall this book was very easy to read. Even though it's an oversized book and it was a little bit wordy, I was able to flow through it very easily.
Yeah.
The cameo appearance of Strange Academy kids in it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
I will say, watch out for the ramifications of this book. I think it's actually going to be really important for a while. If you look at what we've got going on with Jed MacKay, we've got Black Cat and these Infinity Stones doing events and doing weird stuff. We've got Jed MacKay writing Death of Doctor Strange, and we're seeing it affect the world. You see, it talks about a shift in the balance of the world, and everyone notices it. Mr. Fantastic notices it, Magic notices it, Thor notices it. It's very prevalent. And then we've also got Jed MacKay writing that one-shot Timeless King event.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think a lot of the things that are happening here are all going to get tied up and together and have some type of multiversal ramifications.
I'm all aboard.
I would say if you're looking for a Silly Goose Time as a classic, I would say pick this up. It seems like it's going to be good. It does have a few tie-ins. It's got a little checklist in the back. I think you have said you're just going to go ahead and get the majority of them.
I already pretty much confirmed. I committed to the white, so I'm getting all of them. I after reading the event, I was like, fuck it. So I have ordered on Comic Hub. I have ordered everything that is available. Cover Ace.
Gotcha. The one that I can say I for sure, if you haven't looked or noticed, we've got Avengers, we've got Strange Academy Presents, which is one I'll definitely be picking up. There's a Spider-Man, a White Fox, a Blade, and then an X-Men / Black Knight, which I think I'll definitely be getting that one because that's just Strange. And I also think Cy Spurrier is writing that, who's been writing the last few Black Knight books.
Mike says it's almost like there's another Doctor Strange movie on the way.
Oh, what a concept.
Either way, it was fun. My other Marvel, and then we'll get to yours, is Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroad issue number 3.
Oh, yes.
This is quite enjoyable. I figured it out, dude. I figured out what this series has been doing for the past 3 arcs outside of the first arc. Not only are they cramming Marvel, very odd, very random ass Marvel characters in these books, they're giving you a history lesson. So there's this stone that's going around in this book that is kind of floating with Spider-Man. And in the last issue, it got stuck to the head of Bruce, and so it got him out of being the Hulk. Well, in this dimension that they're in, he ends up transforming into what looked like a xenomorph. And I was like, what the hell is this? Is this a new character? No. It's an older version of Hulk that premiered in the comics, I think, in the 80s. And they give you a history lesson so you're not completely lost of who was going on in this book. And I 100% appreciate that.
I'm sure it had to have been during Peter David's actual Hulk run then.
I bet. I don't know, dude. It didn't look like a Hulk, and it looked like a xenomorph. And then I read the back. It's like, don't worry, this is from the past. And so, yeah, I just think this is so much fun. And I like that they're doing that. That they're bringing out characters back from the vault into this book, so that if you are reading it, you're like, oh, I never knew about this character. Or I want to dig more. And I think that really speaks to me, obviously, because I was a student of history. I like to do my research. And so, like, to read this kind of shit is so much fun. So, I couldn't tell you exactly what the hell's going on because there's a lot going on in this book, but it's super fun.
Nice.
So,
you want me to do Alien?
Yeah, do Alien.
Yeah.
Talking about xenomorphs.
Alien 7. I don't think this requires a lot of review, but it was great. So this is the start of a new arc. I convinced myself just from this cover and seeing an alien in like corn that this was an alien on Earth, especially because the space station is now crashing towards Earth. But that's not what this is. This is showing us a ship that is crash landing on the moon of a completely different place that we have not been introduced to before. And I was actually quite bummed for like the first 3 pages because I was like, what the fuck? I thought I was getting xenomorphs on Earth. But I was actually really surprised. It turns out this planet is like a refugee planet for religious, I don't know what to say, like people seeking religious freedoms and stuff. And they're like, oh, well, if you terraform this planet, then you can have your own settlement here or something.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of like interplanetary politics getting played here, and there's a really interesting character dynamic where this woman is seen as the figurehead of this entire community, and she doesn't really believe any of the things that she's the spearheading and stuff. And then she has a terminal illness, and in one issue, it made me care about multiple characters really quickly. And then when the sort of the ship crashes to the planet, and we're like, oh shit, now we got xenomorphs on this planet. I'm just like, oh fuck, like this little podunk town out in the middle of nowhere is fucking screwed.
Screwed.
I really, really, really enjoy the blending of genres of almost like a Wild West and sci-fi space opera at the same time.
Okay.
And when you get that often whenever you do, oh look, we're terraforming a new planet and we're super, super far away from Earth, and so no one's out here to save us. So you get a little bit of Wild West, you get a lot of sci-fi. I love it when those interact, so this really hit the spot for me.
Nice.
Philip Kennedy Johnson too. He's
All right, my DC honorable mention is Shazam, issue 3 of 4. I can't really dive into it because you got to have read, the first issues to really understand what's going on. But I will say, if you were disappointed with Teen Titans Academy, this is how it should have been written. This is the artwork that should have been in the book. You'll thank me later.
okay.
And my last book, which I don't think you read, but you should read, but it's nothing, crazy, is Frontiersman, issue 1. This was Pop Culture Philosophers. Did I say that right? Yeah. It was his pick of the week. It's not my pick of the week, but it wasn't bad. It was good. It's just, it's about old superheroes and about this one who's, fights for a lot of those socially injustice types of movements, more environmental movements, and he's kind of on his last leg and kind of forgotten, and now he's being called back up, and he doesn't quite sure if he should do it or not, if he should pick up the costume again and fight the good fight. He doesn't know yet, so he's kind of conflicted in this book. It's definitely talking about stuff that's going on in our current day, current events.
Mm-hmm.
The second issue's cover has me intrigued to pick up the second issue, but I will not be subbing to this. It'll be one of those last call, let's see how it goes. But the first issue's got me enough to pick up the second issue, and really it was the second cover for the second issue that got me. So we'll see where it goes.
Nice.
So that is going to do it for tonight's show, 60th episode. Again, thank you everybody who has subscribed to our show. Thank you for getting us to 500 subscribers. On to the next one, which is 1,000. I know that's a lot, so like we said before, we're thinking about sprinkling in some milestone giveaways here and there, maybe 650, maybe 800. We'll see as we go, but we cannot thank you enough for giving us your support, giving us your viewership, giving us your time, allowing us to just geek out and talk about comics. We can't thank you enough, so thank you for subscribing, and like we said, we're on to the next one. That 1,000 subscriber. We're giving away this 9/8 Amazing Spider-Man.
Maybe we should talk about like a 750 or something like that, or 600, or.
What do you mean? And not do 1,000?
Well, it's so far away. I don't even know if we can talk about it or show it. Maybe people will forget, and we can do a different book. And
nope. We have to do it. We committed to it, and I've already talked to Ron about getting me another one anyway, so I won't feel bad about giving it away. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching, and as always, read more comics. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Later.
Bye.